ça galope, ça s'accorde, ça shot, non-stop, ça galope, ça s'accorde, Eastern, Western, ça galope, ça put it up, East Block, West Block, A Block, non-stop, ça galope, ça s'accorde, ça shot, non-stop, ça galope, ça s'accorde, Eastern, Western, ça galope, ça put it up, East Block, West Block, A Block, non-stop, ça galope, ça s'accorde.
Hello, I'm Mathieu from Ludovox.fr, and today we are in Essen with a very special guest, Simone Luciani. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
So for those who don't know you, you are the designer of many games. Lorenzo in Magnifico, Tolkien, I think, you worked on.
Yes.
The Voyages of Marco Polo as well.
Yes, exactly.
So these are very few of the games that you've made because you are very creative. So can you tell me about the games that you've made? Do you have a favorite among the games that you made?
A lot of people ask me my favorite games, and I think one of my favorite games is The Voyage of Marco Polo. And because it's streamlined and with few rules, give you deep strategies. But for a heavy game, actually, I think Barrage is one of my most important work.
Crowning achievement, right? Can we talk a bit about Marco Polo? Like, was it very difficult to create these different entry points with the characters? For example, Genghis Khan, who starts at the back of the empire, and the other characters who start from the front, but with very different powers. Was it difficult to create game feels that were balanced and very different?
It's a big secret, but not really secret, that a lot of work on the characters is from the publisher. It's not often. Usually, publisher made a small work on the game, but Hansing Gluck made a really good work and then added the character, add the variety to the game. We send them a streamlined game. They work on the game for a lot of months. They found some problem and give back the game to us. We work another year and change a lot the game, give back to us, and then they add the character. So when they present the game to us, the character is not in the game. The game is more simpler, is a light canner. Then they increase the complexity of the game, and they made a great work. Then we test the character and evaluate, and they really made a good work. Not all the character is perfectly balanced, but the mix between the variety of the map and the variety of the characters give a really different experience each time you play.
Okay, let's talk about Barrage. So Barrage is the game that was recently released from you. And this is a game in which you try to get electricity and power by building dams and also by capturing the water that will trickle down to your opponents. Was that your first idea, that you had a resource that was flowing and that you blocked it?
I met Tommaso Battista, the other designer of the game, some years ago. And he is an architect and worked as a dam builder for some years. And he presented to me a game about hydroelectric managing system. The game is quite simple compared to the final one. And I say to him, "Oh, I play a turn, but I want to play all the game." So I have the feeling that in this game has something special. So we kept the game, destroy all the elements around the core, and some designer, when I present this work, they are scared. That's my baby, don't touch it. But Tommaso is very open to the changes, so we worked for more than 3 years, building another game around the core of hydroelectric management. And this is the way, because the game is so thematic. Because Tommaso give me a lot of feedback, a lot of feeling of some element that are in real life. So you cannot store energy, because it's no economic to store energy. You do have to use energy when you produce it. you have to build them, you have to the water flow. So there are a lot of elements that give a lot of the theme to the game. Then when we released the Kickstarter, our team has the idea to set in the early 19 in a uchronic world, but the core thematic of the game the same. So it's about hydroelectric management.
So you are launching an expansion, I think a new Kickstarter and some changes. Do you think your life as a designer will change after Barrage because this was so important for you?
I don't think that Barrage changed my life as a designer, because my life as a designer changed only if I publish a Spieltage. This changed a designer's life. This is a really good game. I think that all the rumors about the Kickstarter turned down, and the games can show its quality and the best can do. So I hope that in the next month people play the game, like the game, and then share their comments. So I'm optimistic on this game.
In your opinion, what makes a good game?
It really depends on the level of the game and which kind of emotion you want to recreate. For a party game, you have to loathe, you have to communicate with the other player. In a heavy gamers game, you have to build something, look what you build, grow during the game, but all the game must have something new. Not always in the mechanics. Some game has mechanics that you are just in, but mix it in a way that give you a new feeling.
You are known to produce rather heavy, really heavy games. In your experience, how much time goes from the moment you have the idea of the game and the moment when you publish it?
It really depends game from game, because depend how many problems you found, and it's unpredictable. For example, for Tolkien, we work 1 year on the game and another 1 year with the company to publish it. So from the first idea to the box is 2 years. For Barrage is more than 3 years and a half, so more long. It's possible. Some games take also more longer time, but I think from 1 hour, 1 year and a half, and 3 years more or less.
Did you get to see the new games? What's new in this Essen show? Did you see innovative games?
The problem working in the gaming industry is that you have really less time to visit the fair, to play game. So I'm interested to play, for example, Maracaibo, because I love Pfister game, the last Pfister game. So I'm curious, but I don't have a lot of time to look around the fair, and so I think I'll play the new games in the next months.
Do you think you will try to collaborate with Alexander Pfister, because you seem to like his work?
It's a possibility. I have a lot of projects in the next 2 years in co-design with different designers, because I love to collaborate with people, because it's stimulating, because you share ideas. Sometimes you don't have the right solution and the other one give you an hint. From a discussion, sometimes there is no solution, but the discussion makes some change in your mind that the solution came to you 2 years later. So really important to discuss with someone for me and my way to design games. So for me it's a good option to collaborate with Alexander, but I think not in the next months, next year.
Do you believe that a game should be perfectly balanced? This is a terrible question.
Balance is depend on what you means with balance. Yes, the game will be balanced because if it's unbalanced, you don't want to play a lot after some games. For example, Tolkien, when player play a lot on online, so make a lot of a game, find the strategy, then is more stronger than the other. And when you play the game, if you know the strategy, you have to play only in one way, and it's less fun. So more balanced the game, more possibility that the game is replayed for years.
Do you think that because of Tabletopia, because of all the online play, the way we balance games will change?
Tabletopia is one of the possibility to test more. So some designer use online application, some using testing live. The important is that you test a lot. Some abstract calculation about the element of the game help you to balance the game, but you need a lot of tests. If you made it online or if you made it live, no matter, I think. But you have to test a lot with possibility, more different groups, because some groups play in a way, in only one way, and don't find the bug in the game.
Okay, thank you, Simone, for that interview, for telling us about your work. Now, let's see you on Ludovox.fr. Bye-bye.
Ça galope, ça s'accorde, ça shot, non-stop, ça galope, ça s'accorde, western, ça galope, ça poudit up, east block, west block, a block, non-stop, ça galope, ça s'accorde, ça galope, ça s'accorde, ça shot, non-stop, ça galope, ça s'accorde, western.